Magandang araw, mabuhay!
Today, we will be discussing the Tagbanua tribe. The Tagbanua are considered as one of the oldest ethnic groups in the Philippines. Research has found that the Tagbanua people may be descendants of the Tabunman, remains found in the Philippines dating from more than 16,500 years ago, meaning they may be one of the original inhabitants of the Philippines.
So, I'm presenting about the history of Tagbanua tribe. So, what is the history of Tagbanua tribe? In folk history, Tagbanua had an early relationship with Brunei. However, the formal history of Tagbanua tribe is when Magellan came to Palawan in 1521 for provisions, where Antonio Pigafetta recorded the culture and characteristics of the Tagbanua in his book The Boya Japan Jalan Around the World. So, in the 17th century, the Palawan where the Tagbanwas are located became under the Sultan of Brunei, causing conflict with Spaniards who are having a war with the Muslims at the time. So, in the 19th century, the Tagbanwa beliefs on their native god and celebrations had continued. So, in this 19th century, this time po kasi yung wars is medyo nagkaroon ng cease since kasi it's transition between Spanish and Americans po eh. So, nagkaroon ng time ang mga Tagbanwa tribe or Tagbanwa people to continue kung ano yung mga beliefs nila and mga tradition nilang gawain. So, next, when the American occupied the Philippines, it brought changes for the Tagbanwas. So, kasi nga yung time na mabago na naman yung or nag-occupy ng Philippines, may bagong rules or may mga bagong projects na gagawin yung mga Americans, yung mga lands na tinitirahan ng mga Tagbanwa, where locally sila nakatira, parang ginagamit yun para sa projects ng mga Americans. Kaya, yun, parang nako-compress yung areas nila, imbis na hindi sila nakakapag hindi na malawak yung sakop nila na tinuturing. So, next, in the 1904, the expansion of penal colony in Iwahig displaced them, but in 1910, the American gave them reservation. So, yun na nga po, isa sa mga project which is yung penal colony in Iwahig, dito banda yun sa dulo ng Palawan. And then, in 1910, the Americans gave them reservations. Kasi nga unlike other colonies ng Philippines, American tend to help the Philippines to develop, kaya ayaw nila na mawala yung ating native people or yung ating Tagbanwa tribe, which is yun na nga po, belong doon yung ating Tagbanwa tribe. Kaya binigyan sila nito ng reservation na lupa to continue their traditional doings po. And however, in succeeding years, the migrations, Christian dominations, and economic and political development marginalized them. So, yun na nga po, dahil sa migrations, Christian dominations, and economics and political development, dahil sa mga projects na yan, yung mga beliefs na nababago, parang unti-unting naapektuhan yung mga Tagbanwas tribe at lumiliit yung sakop nila. So next, in 1998, Coron Islands Tagbanwa people gained a certificate on ancestral domain title, or what we call CDT, given them right to a large area of 22,000 hectares reserved for them. In March 2010, the Tagbanwas that were formerly driven from Caluit Islands also gain a CADT for 55,000 hectares. So, sa nabanggit ko, so ito na po yung step ng ating government during this time para ma-preserve yung lugar ng mga Tagbanwa people. So, medyo malaking-laking lupa na po yun para magkaroon sila ng living livelihood, para magawa nila yung mga cultures and traditions nila, and magkaroon sila ng lugar na sila lang mismo, yung ano lang po nila, yung tribe lang mismo nila. So, ito yung mga Tagbanwa sa Kaluit, kasi formerly, dinadriven away sila, kasi yung mga yung lupa nila is ginagawa for development and economical purposes. And as well as marami na rin people, marami na rin common people doon, maraming tao na yung nandoon, kaya parang kailangan na nila umalis doon sa lugar na yun. So that cause problems, kaya ginawaan ng government ng paraan. Binigyan sila ng CADT, which is for 55,000 hectares. Makalain mo yung laki, di ba? So, don't be confused na akala nyo mas malaki ang 55,000 kesa sa naunang hectares, which is the 22,000 hectares. Kasi yung 22,000 na yan, yung sakop niyan is, yung mas malaking part doon is yung land. However, dito sa 55,000 na binigay sa Tagbanua ng Kalawit, yung 5,000 doon is yung land, and the 50,000 is water bodies. Yun po.
Tagbanuas are brown-skinned people with slim, erect stature and has straight hair. Next is about Tagbanua musical instruments. First is pagang, a Tagbanua musical instrument, a tube zither, possibly a pagang, inscribed with syllabic writings among the Tagbanua people in Palawan. The bamboo xylophone gabang is found in southern Philippines among the Yakan, Sama, Tausog, and Palawan. It consists of bamboo keys of graduated lengths mounted on trapezoidal backs. The second one is harmonica. Harmonicas are fascinating with their petite size and distinct sound, but how do they work? If you take a look at the inside of a harmonica, you will see the thin strips of brass. All different lengths vibrate when you breathe into the harp. The third one is drums. So drums create the rhythm to a tune, making this instrument a key element in a tempo lesson. Whether you dance to the beat or sing along with the percussion, drums are a great guide. You can create drums at home by using everyday items like soup cans, Pringles containers, or even a tabletop. All you need is some kind of a drumstick to tap along with. So another form of percussion is the tambourine. You often see singers with a tambourine because they're able to multitask with one free hand to hold the mic. If you're looking for a fun musical addition for your kids' acoustic act, then the tambourine may be just what you need. And this DIY version is quieter than the traditional kind. The next one is the water xylophone. So if you're looking for an instrument with a multitude of sounds, you may want to offer this musical water xylophone. By filling the cups with different amounts of water and tapping the glasses with a spoon, your kids can hear all the different tones that are produced. So this is a great activity to complete with a friend or little brother or sister. Get them started on a beat to a certain tempo with one cup, and you can join in with another sound or a different cup. Soon, you will be on your way to making your very own homemade musical masterpiece. The last one is rain stick. The rain stick is another distinct noise often associated with indigenous cultures. Bring that ancient sound to your DIY band with a homemade rain stick. And hopefully, you'll inspire a calming effect in your home. You can make this one with a cardboard tube, some ribbons, paper, and pebbles or beans for the sound. Now, let's proceed to the Tagbanua ethnic dances. The first one is what we call pagdiwata, or imploring the aid of the supernatural. So, it is a Tagbanua dance to men warring fractions. So as we can see to the picture, the babaylan becomes possessed and whisk coconut leaves to drive away harmful spirits. The next one is the salip, or apayaw. The salip is a Kalinga dance in which a warrior is depicted claiming his bride by giving her a matrimonial blanket. The woman then balances several clay pots on her head and follows the man. An action expressing submission, the man's actions resemble those of a courting rooster. Next is binasuan. The binasuan is a Filipino folk dance in which the performer holds full wine glasses in each hand while performing balancing tricks. Wine may be used to fill the glasses, but other liquids may be substitute. And the last one is mananagat. Mananagat is occupational dance which originated from Bogo, Cebu. This dance imitates the work of a fisherman and his companions.
The next topic is all about the Tagbanua's dishes.
Ensaladang lato. The main ingredient of this salad sea grapes o mas kilala sa English na Caulerpa lentilifera at mas kilala naman sa Tagalog na lato. Madalas itong natatagpuan sa baybaying dagat ng Pilipinas. The Tagbanua have learned to farm this type of seaweed, making it one of their main sources of income. Ang mga ingredients para magawa itong recipe na ito ay, of course, sea grapes, lato, tomato, and red onion, white vinegar, black pepper, and salt. At meron ding white sugar. Dito naman tayo sa kurot. This type of boiled yam often appears as a snack of Tagbanua's tables. Due to the poisonous nature of kurot, hindi ito recommend sa mga nagluluto unless na may kasamang Tagbanua grandma. The practice before eating is to first offer the pusid kurot to a dog, as the animal to believed to be able to sense the poison. It is refuses to eat. It means the toxins are still present. Ibig sabihin lamang nito na hindi ligtas kainin ang kurot. So, bago ito pwedeng kainin, ay itatry muna nila na ipakain ito sa aso upang malaman kung poisonous ba ito. The last is Nay Maurits Kaping Bilog. This Tagbanwa method of roasting coffee beans is surprisingly similar to that of Singapore and Malaysia, in the sense that sugar is added late in the process to thicken the coffee. The resulting beans are cold, then pounded before brewing. This goes well with boiled kamote or sweet potato and kurot. So, paano ba lutuin ang Nay Maurits Kaping Bilog? Madali lang siya. Una, using a cooking spoon, put 3 heaping spoonfuls or tinatawag na takal sa ating mga Pilipino of ground kaping bilog into a 1 liter thermos or vacuum flask. Pour piping hot water into flask and stir. Wait for the coffee grounds to sink to the bottom. Pangatlo, cover the flask. Pang-apat, serve into cups and add sugar and or creamer to taste.
And now we'll be able to know how the Tagbanua worship. First is the Lambay. The Lambay is held 2 times a year. It is observed first in January and involves ritual appears to the deities for days of sunshines and winds that sufficiently dry the forest and prepare them for clearing and planting. A second one is held in May, when the people ask for moderate rains that will make their upland rice grow. There are 2 rituals which seek protection for all Tagbanwa wherever they may be. From the feared Salakap, the spirits of epidemic, sickness, and death. These 2 rituals are the Pagbuyis and the Runsay. So first is the Pagbuyis, which performed 3 times a year. The first is in November and the second in December. The third is when the moon can be seen during the daytime called Magkaaldawan. The second one is Runsay. This is described as the most dramatic of all Tagbanua rituals. It is observed only once a year at night time on the fourth day after the full moon of December. It takes place on the beach near the mouth of the Aborlan River. The Runsay, like the Pagbuyis, is held to ask for protection against epidemic. The rituals begin at dusk and ends at dawn. The last one is the famous Pagdiwata. At the center of the Diwata rituals is the Babaylan, who has the responsibility of selecting the areas for a new clearing, placating the spirits of the surroundings, providing magical charms for hunters and fishers, and curing all kinds of ailments. While any adult can invoke the spirits of the dead in other Tagbanwa rituals, only the Babaylan can summon them in the Pagdiwata. And now let's proceed to the Tagbanua's medical plants and how they cure. So the first one is the olagak plant or the ovaria. So the roots and stems of the olagak are used to cure cough and cold, and its mode of preparation is decoction with a dosage of 1 cup per day. So here are the example of the roots and stems of the olagak plant. The next one is the ulam plant or the Barringtonia. The bark of the ulam plant can treat fresh wounds, and mode of preparation is poultice, and the dosage is apply until the wounds heal. Its fruits are used for fish poison, for catching fish, and the mode of preparation is also poultice, and the dosage is 1 portion of extract, 1 portion of water. And the other fruits are used for insecticide. Mode of preparation, extraction of food extract, and the dosage is 1 portion of extract and 1 portion of water. And here are the examples of its bark and fruits. The last part is the Tagbanwa song and dance. One of the example of their song is the Pailantige. It is a love song of Tagbanuas and people of Palawan. The sounds of nature is important to make people of Palawan like the sound of insects, rainfall, winds, birds, and imitate sounds of animals. So this is a short clip of Pailantige.
Pailantige, 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 pailantige.
Next is their dance called Pagdiwata, which imploring the aid of the supernatural, is a Tagbanwa dance to mend warring factions. The Babaylan becomes possessed and whisked coconut leaves to drive away harmful spirits. Here is the short clips of the Pagdiwata dance. Group members Mustafa Al-Yudin, Hamid Marwina, Liedo Villabianca, Lucena Trisha, and Estribor Janela. That's all for our report. Thank you for listening and God bless.